which is 100%.
Good job of ball rotation, able to spot up, knock down 6 of 6 from behind the arc, and then Chris Hill hit 3 early, but here, nice job of dribble penetration, hits the little floater. Northwestern struggled offensively, particularly in the early going. Here, a nice job. The extra pass allows T.J. Parker the ability to square up and knock it down. And then one of the few baskets, Tom, Northwestern was able to get easily in the first half. Good interior feed from Bakuzic to Tim Young.
Well, there are the numbers, and if you break down those shooting percentages, Michigan State in the first half shot 67% to Northwestern's 38.
And the irony of that is that we really thought that Michigan State would pound it inside to Paul Davis. Yeah. They never had to get to that with the three-point shooting the way it was.
Well, all you have to do is look at Chris Hill and Maurice Ager. Those two have combined for 35 points alone. Michigan State by 17. 10 shooting, 6 of 6 from beyond the arc. And Chris Hill had 11 of Michigan State's first 13.
And if you look at the Northwestern side, the one thing that has been constant in the 2 wins that Michigan State comes in here with, they have taken the leading score. In this case, for Northwestern, Tim Young completely out of the ball game. He probably, that's Maurice Ager right there. The EPA called his arms radioactive.
Coach, what do I have to do to start? Well, this is what makes Michigan State such a threat, not only in the Big Ten, but come NCAA tournament time. They're 10 deep, and you never know from night to night who might be that one player that kills you.
And people forget a year ago, very similar situation. People kind of writing them off in the early part of the Big Ten season. All they did was go to the Elite Eight.
Yeah. Yep. And if it weren't for Texas playing a home game, they might have gone to the Final Four. From the top of the key, Bakuzic with a miss. And the rebound by the freshman Shannon Brown. This is Brown with the ball. Oh, what a pass to Davis.
Nice look by Shannon Brown. Very unselfish play. That's coming from a kid that averaged over 25 points a game in high school, willing to make the extra pass.
Right now, Michigan State really clicking on every cylinder. Whatever they wanted to do tonight offensively, they have been successful. This is Dowancic handing it off to Hashad. Hashad, nice drive and score.
Good patience by Northwestern there in the half-court set. Worked Michigan State's defense, got a good look.
Hashad has 5. The problem now, though, for Northwestern, they just can't get into a game of horse. They need some stops. And Torbert was held at the foul line. That is going to go against Dowancic. It'll be his second. Good look there at Davor Dowancic. 1 of 3 from Croatia that are on this Northwestern squad. This is Chris Hill with the ball, academic All-American, majoring in finance. Paul Davis on the drive. Well, he is something special, and he's only a sophomore.
And good recognition by Paul Davis of seeing he had Bakuzic on him. His lateral mobility really limited with that injured left knee right now. Good job of exploiting that.
Davis has 7 points, and he's been Michigan State's top scorer this season at 15 a game. This is Bakuzic, pass almost picked off. Tim Young can't convert. Rebound Davis. Here come the Spartans in transition.
Wow.
Oh, Shannon Brown just couldn't corral it and jam it. But it was there. Deflected out by the Spartans. 19-point Michigan State lead with 17:41 to play. Tim Young takes the inbounds pass.
Michigan State goes zone in the out-of-bounds situation.
Michigan State trying to post its 3rd straight win and go back into a first-place tie in the Big Ten. They got hammered in Wisconsin in their Big Ten opener, but they've recovered, beating Penn State, Michigan, and in control here as Dowancic with the left hand.
Nice job of spinning into the lane, shot it over to shot blocker Davis.
And the sophomore has 8. Actually, Dowancic, a junior. Down low with the left hand, Torbert.
Nice job of moving without the basketball by Torbert. Duwancic just got hung out to dry right there. Poor job of defending the curl cut.
First points of the game for Torbert. Michigan State really hasn't had a lot of people score tonight. They haven't had to with Hill and Agger. Jatim Young penetrating, drew the foul. And that'll go against Allen Anderson.
Here's Torbert on the last basket. You can see coming into your screen, number 31, Duwancic, trailing the cut. Good ball movement right there by the Spartans, and Torbert's the recipient.
Good look there at the junior out of Flint. By the way, Allen Anderson just picked up his third personal, and he hasn't scored tonight for Michigan State. Yet Michigan State leads 48-30. 16:45 to play. This is Jatim Young, who almost went to Michigan State. He was highly recruited by Tom Izzo, but decided to stay home because at that time his grandmother, who raised him, had cancer. Jatim Young's had a fabulous career in Evanston, but he's a Tom Izzo type player as far as that toughness. Anderson with a miss. Good rebound, his shot, and look at him break out. Into the lane, and boy, did Parker hit the hip. He really crashed onto that hip, driving and was fouled.
He landed very awkwardly on his side. Hashad, good job of going up in traffic. Then he gets in the middle of the floor, makes a good passing decision. That was not a flagrant foul. You know, that was just a hard foul. He's going to be okay, but I tell you what, he's going to be sore tomorrow.
Yeah. Good look there. The sophomore DJ Parker, whose brother right now, Tony Parker, one of the best guards in the NBA with the world champion San Antonio Spurs. His brother basically went from Paris to the NBA. DJ, the more conventional route from Paris to Illinois to Northwestern. Played a couple of years of high school ball in the state of Illinois.
Northwestern showing a little bit of they're extending their defense here. We saw them do it a little bit in the first half, trying to get a trap.
Well, Michigan State has an answer for everything tonight.
And you know what? Nothing fancy there, but what I liked about it, the ball did not hit the floor. Half pass layup.
Good point. 50-33. Michigan State leads it 4 minutes into the second half. And Hashad, a little cute with the pass, threw it away. We've got a timeout as Michigan State is still in command of this one. The Spartans leading 50-33 as Paul Davis scoring now inside. Ball game to follow on ESPN Plus, and another key matchup in the early going. Michigan Wolverines and Wisconsin Badgers from the Kohl Center in Madison. That's coming up right after this one. Of course, Michigan got pretty well taken apart in East Lansing by Michigan State. Although some will tell you Michigan has as much talent as any team in the Big Ten, but still a very young Michigan team, Sean.
Very young team, and for the folks that haven't had a chance to see the Michigan Wolverines, check out that athletic front line. There's a young guy there, Courtney Sims, right now leading the conference in block shots. Once he puts together an offensive game to go with that, watch out.
Well, right now, Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans telling the rest of the Big Ten, watch out. What a show they put on tonight. Torbert penetrated, drew the foul. And Duwancic picks up his third, fifth. Check that, the second on Northwestern. Long way to go in this one, but Michigan State hasn't shown any signs of a letdown with a big lead. Deflected out by Hashad. You know, Tom Izzo was telling us today, Sean, that he feels like his Spartans are regaining some of that confidence that they lost. He said, really, in essence, ever since the Duke game, when they got beat by 22 points, he said it really took a lot out of the club from a confidence standpoint as Vakusic picks up the foul. But now, Tom Izzo's Spartans starting to believe in themselves again.
And that Duke loss, it wasn't just the amount of points that they lost by. It was at home, which rarely happens, and the fact that Duke in a rare case for Michigan State, beat them up physically. And I think that was a wake-up call, something that really had never happened to this team in particular, but they've responded exceedingly well here in the conference slate.
Oh, what a block by Makusic. And he's picked. Now they're calling it a foul on Makusic.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. What do you think, Sean?
We see the dribble penetration right here. Might have gotten him across the wrist, but the thing that confused me, if you take a look at it once again, is that I thought the official was making the thumbs up signal like it was a jump ball.
That's the new signal for the foul on 1-1. Give him 2 thumbs. Torbert knocks down the first free throw. Tom Izzo said today that Duke game was like getting decked by Mike Tyson. And it's taken Michigan State a while to get off the canvas. But they are very much.
Yeah, unlike a Mike Tyson fight, at least no one got their ear bit off.
5 minutes into the second half. Northwestern down 18. They may feel like they're losing body parts. And a push down low as Young, in the land of the Giants, was posting up. And that goes against Torbert. It'll be his first. And the third on the Spartans. Good look there at Bill Carmody. He's got this program in Evanston headed in the right direction. More help on the way as Northwestern turns it over. But Bill Carmody getting his type of player here to play that Princeton style. And next year he'll have a lot more weapons.
Big news for the Northwestern program. A transfer from Duke, Michael Thompson, who will be eligible to play in December of next year. And, you know, as important as he will give them size, something that this team doesn't have right now, it's more perception as much as it is anything else, Tom. Having a kid that's a McDonald's All-American come in and choose your school, that hopefully, if you're a Northwestern fan, will lead to other players following that type of example.
And he's a local youngster. Davis doubled up. Tough pass caught by Anderson. What a catch.
And the shot got popped right in the mouth.
And we have an official timeout with 10 on the shot clock. There's a good look at Mohammed Hashad. 51-33. Michigan State leads. 14:23 to play.
See Davis right here going in and inadvertently catches an elbow right in the chaps. And in keeping with the fight theme of Mike Tyson, maybe Ferdy Pacheco will come out there and check him out.
Well, that stings. 9 on the shot clock. Michigan State has to hurry now. I don't know if they realize it. Anderson with 3 on the shot clock. Anderson fires in desperation. Missed it. Michigan State rebound. Guess who? Just into the ball game, Maurice Ager. 24 for Ager off the bench, a career high. He hasn't played at all in the second half until just moments ago. Biggest lead for the Spartans. They are up 20. Duwancic fouled by Davis. 3rd on Davis.
Well, Tom, Maurice Ager scored in just about every conceivable way except this one. On the scramble situation, Northwestern not able to corral the rebound, and that's what Ager is really known for, is his athleticism. They worked on a lot of lob plays today in the shoot-around, but boy, he was knocking down threes early. He's like, okay, I'll go down and dunk. I'm tired of going out and shooting threes.
He's missed 2 shots tonight.
You got to bet. Oh, got to take a scholarship. He missed 2 shots.
Davis out with the 3rd personal as Jason Andreas is in, and Tom Izzo, even with a 20-point lead, you keep coaching. The way the 3-point shot has changed how quickly leads dissipate. And Tolich back in for the Wildcats as Duwancic is out. Michigan State with the ball in an 18-point cushion, but still 13:40 to play, so plenty of time left for Northwestern.
But they can't give up second opportunities as they did on the last possession. They have to lock down.
Northwestern showing a little half-court trap, but not putting the trap on just yet. 9 on the shot clock. This is Ager with the ball. He's had that kind of a night where nothing has... Oh, he almost got that to go, and it was slapped out of his hands. Tim Young into the front court, wisely pulls it back out. This is Young with the basketball. He's really been held in check to 7 points tonight. Michigan State's done a good job on Jatim Young. 10 on the shot clock. This is Young for 3. Boy, that's the part of his game that he never really had until this senior season.
And it's a great tribute to him and the coaching staff here at Northwestern. He's never going to be a Rick Mount pure type jump shooter, but to see him over 40% from behind the arc and to see that progression in his ball game, outstanding tribute to that young man.
And that gets Northwestern to within 15. And Andreas was fouled from behind, second on Parker.
Take a look at the last basket by Jatim Young. And watch where he catches the ball. That's not an easy shot, Tom, because he did not catch it in the shooting pocket. He had to get that thing up into the shooting pocket off that low pass from Hashad. Got it up to his knees and up to the rim very quickly. That was a much tougher shot than it appeared.
Jatim Young, 4-year starter here at Northwestern. This is the freshman, Shannon Brown, with the basketball. One of the top recruits in the country from nearby Proviso East. On the baseline, Andreas didn't finish, but there to follow it is Torber.
That's what happens with dribble penetration, Tom. Even though the initial thrust might not score, what it does is it breaks down the defense and allows those lanes for offensive rebounding opportunities.
And now the Wildcats breaking down offensively with the turnovers. 12 minutes to play. Michigan State leading 55-38. Michigan State very patient now offensively. Brown penetrates, Brown misses, and it'll be a Michigan State foul over the back.
They got Torbert right there.
Indeed they did, and on Torbert, that is his second. Michigan State Spartans getting contributions from everybody tonight, including Kelvin Torbert, lead by 17. Coming up this Saturday, and in our first ball game, Michigan and Penn State from State College. And then again, we'll be back in Madison, the Wisconsin Badgers and the Fighting Illini. That'll be another big week for Wisconsin at home against contenders Michigan and Illinois. So that doubleheader coming up this Saturday. Right now, Northwestern trying to claw their way back into it, but look at the shooting for Michigan State. They have never cooled off tonight, Sean.
And they've just been very, very crisp in their execution. I can only think of a couple times where they settled for quick shots. They've been very, very good.
This is Tolich. Vukusic with the ball. Has not been the same player with that knee brace tonight. The shot to Vukusic. 2 on the shot clock. Vukusic. Desperation and a pushing foul. It'll go against Andreas, and that'll be his third.
And there was a little contact, but a veteran play by Tolich. I think how he sold that call to the official was he yelled. He literally got the official's attention. He got a little shove in the back. He yelled out, hey, desperate times call for desperate measures.
So this officiating crew understands Croatian. There's Tolich. Another from Croatia, although all these kids speak English, obviously, very well. And to be able to go to Northwestern and to be from another country, that is pretty incredible when you think of the academics here. Jatim Young dribbles back out.
Michigan State showing a little zone here on the out-of-bounds situation.
Parker had it stripped. Ahead to Hill. Hill beats everybody, and Chris Hill, he has had quite a night too. 15 for the Indianapolis product.
And Tom, how many times when a guy gets off to the hot start that he does, does he then continue to try to force things? He has not done that. He hit 3 quick threes, and then the rest of his points have come in the flow of the game, continued to feed Ager, who was a hot hand after him.
It's amazing to have this much talent that Michigan State has, Sean, and to be so unselfish as a team. And again, that's a credit to Tom Izzo and his staff and these kids. A bump from behind by Tolich. But a lot of programs couldn't handle all of this talent And Tom Izzo and his staff do a tremendous job with it. Nice problem to have.
Well, a lot of times, you know, the term winning, all I want to do is win, gets a lot of lip service. You hear guys say that all the time until their shots go down, until their stats suffer, until their playing time goes down. But this program has been able to build and maintain that level of excellence because they've bought into that. Hey, the most important thing is winning.
And Michigan State on the lob deflected out of it. Michigan State's lost a lot of talent early the last few years as well. And by no means is the cupboard bare. Tolich looked back door, but Michigan State covered it. And now Anderson picks up the foul. That is going to be his fourth, and Northwestern should be in the 1-and-1.
What they got right there was Anderson bumping the cutter. I believe it was it Vukuzic? Yes, it was Vukuzic who was coming through the lane. They got Anderson bumping the cutter.
And the Hill is in. Anderson is out. Anderson hasn't scored tonight. But again, as Tom Izzo said, Anderson does so many things for them. Not only does he play the point on offense, sometimes he'll play the power forward on defense.
He's had to do a lot of things throughout his career, but particularly this year, when Erasm Lorbeck left early, that left a big void at the 4 spot or power forward spot. And I think that was one of the main reasons that Michigan State struggled early on, trying to fill that void, because that young man went back to play professionally overseas very late in the ballgame. They did not have a chance to recruit and fill that vacancy.
Can you imagine him on the front line with this guy, Paul Davis? Because Paul Davis has been impacted by that absence of a true power forward, according to Tom Izzo. Although tonight, you'd never know it. This has just been a clinic by the Spartans offensively. They lead 57-39. Davis from the baseline.
Nice execution. That extra pass once again from Shannon Brown. And Davis showing his versatility, stepping out to the short corner.
Davis with 11. 20-point Spartan lead. 9 minutes to play. Hashad, an open look. And he knocked down the triple. So Hashad now with 8 points. Northwestern climbs to within 17. But if Michigan State keeps shooting over 60%, it's not going to matter what Northwestern or anybody else does. Oh my! Kelvin Torbert! That'll raise Michigan State's 63% shooting accuracy. Sean, Kelvin Torbert, he looks kind of like you did here in your days with the Wildcats.
Yeah, he's got 2 arms and 2 legs. That's about where it begins and ends. Watch right here. Shannon Brown. And Ager's up there with him. I mean, it was a contest to see who was going to dunk that. I couldn't get up that high with a ladder and a broom handle.
And Torbert's 6'4".
Oh.
Well, we greet you tonight from frigid Evanston, where Michigan State has been blistering. Here from the Welsh Ryan Arena with Sean Morris, I'm Tom Hamilton. 8:28 to play. Michigan State leads at 61-42. That's the 3-point shooting for Michigan State. Overall, the Spartans are shooting over 62% from the field. You know, it's amazing how good you look when you knock down shots. It doesn't matter who you are and at what level.
And when you hit the threes early on, as Michigan State was able to do, what it forces your opponent to do, Tom, is extend the defense. And when that happens, then you get the dribble drives, you get the interior feeds, you get a lot of things that make your offensive flow even that much more impressive.
Dan Chrisman over explaining something to Tom
Torbert's got
Izzo.
some blood on him, I think, right now, and
alrighty.
Probably cut his arm on the rim on that last follow dunk.
He's back in there. Has there ever been a better 7-7 club in the country than Michigan State? And again, the Spartans continue to run their offense. Hill for 3. Hey, he missed. Hill with the rebound.
But once again, Second chance opportunity, something that if Northwestern is going to cut into this lead, they can't afford to give up, because now another 35 seconds is going to go off.
Well, Michigan State has led the Big Ten in rebounding 6 straight years. The freshman, Shannon Brown. Well, you know how big a game this is for this young man coming back home.
And he hasn't forced anything.
No. Shannon Brown has 4 points tonight. What a future he has ahead of him in East Lansing. This is a young Spartan team. From the corner, another triple, this time Bakusic.
Able to get his feet set.
Yep. Hey, Northwestern's not going away.
No, they're going to continue to compete and play hard.
It's one thing Bill Carmody's clubs have done since he got here.
Because Illinois had a chance to knock them out a week ago.
Yep.
They're up 9 at the half and had a chance, you know, to Dr. Kevorkian, but they treated him like Marcus Welby.
You're dating yourself now. Marcus Welby made house calls when Doctor does that. From the wing. Finally, a Michigan State miss. Bakusic with a strong rebound. Six and a half to play. Northwestern needs a spurt. They're down 16. Young for 3. He got it. How about these Wildcats? They're back to within 13. On a night when Michigan State can do nothing wrong offensively, Northwestern refuses to go away.
And right now, look for Michigan State, Tom, to go inside. Try to get the ball inside the Davis on this possession.
12 on the shot clock. This is Brown against Young. Brown bumped by Tolich. His third. 1-and-1 coming up.
And a tough sequence freshman right there, Tom, for Northwestern, because 8 seconds on the shot clock, and that foul bails Michigan State out with the shot clock winding down.
And the freshman, Shannon Brown, was the guy that kind of took charge. Brown is an 81% free throw shooter. Mr. Basketball in the state of Illinois a year ago when he averaged 28 points a game. Everybody wanted this young man. 1-and-1 for Brown. Rattled out. And it's Northwestern's basketball. So we've got a timeout. Northwestern looked dead and buried, down by 20. But Chatim Young and the Wildcats are still alive. More basketball coming up after this one. Another key matchup in the Big Ten. Michigan and Wisconsin doing battle. Badgers need to win to stay in a first place tie. Indiana's already there at 3-1. Michigan State, they need to win here. And all of a sudden, Sean, it's not a given Michigan State's going to win this game. It looked like this thing was dead and buried, but A
couple of big threes, and you know, we've talked about Michigan a little bit earlier. You know, all Wisconsin does is you take a look at the last Northwestern run in the last 3 minutes. All Wisconsin does, Tom, is win.
Yeah.
Nothing flashy. And you take a look at what they do, what they can control. Great defensively, lead the conference in assist to turnover ratio, and have an outstanding floor general in Devin Harris.
Bakusic on the baseline, back out front. Northwestern now with a little extra surge in their step. This is Chatim Young. Bograkis now in and on him.
Michigan State very aggressive right now in their zone defense.
5 on the shot clock. Parker for 3. No. Rebound yanked out of there by Paul Davis. He showed some strength on that block out.
And Ivan Tolich right now really laboring getting up and down the floor for Northwestern. Struggled with tendonitis. Played a career-high 26 minutes against Indiana.
Kick out, Torbert. Bograkis with the ball on the wing. Under 5 to play. Michigan State up 13. 12 on the shot clock. Oh, dangerous pass. Almost picked off by Bakusic. Bakusic trying to draw the charge. He did. Anderson fouls out. The Michigan State point guard fouls out. He did not score as we check our Subway scores. There they are. Subway scores. 4:42 left in this one. Michigan State leading Northwestern 63-50.
And Vukusic in that sequence, Tom, almost came up with the steal and did a very good job of moving his feet. There was a bang-bang call. Really could have gone either way or been a play on. And that's a tough one for Anderson to go out on.
Well, how much now does Michigan State miss Alan Anderson, even though he didn't score, Sean?
Well, you've got to move somebody over now. Now, you know, it's basically going to be incumbent upon Chris Hill to run this squad. And I would look for, you know, unless he's hurt, you might get Ager back in the ball game to pick up that shooting slot. And he is back in there.
Well, Ager had 22 points at the break. He's had 2 this half. Really hasn't played that much. This is Vukusic with a left hand. We've got a ball game. Michigan State's 20-point lead down to 11. This is Ager.
You've got to go inside right now if you're Michigan State, Tom. Pound the ball inside to Davis.
Davis with 11 points. 12 in the shot clock. Michigan State a little out of sync right now. Almost turned it over. 6 on the shot clock. Tom Izzo pleading his case with John Hughes. Michigan State will have the ball, but just 6 on the shot clock. 3:56 on the game clock. Michigan State, a 20-point lead, cut to 11 thanks to Vukusic. 63-52 as we check out our Bell Tires drive of the game.
And Michigan State made a living from behind the arc, but it's Chris Hill in transition. Great job of catching up to the lead pass and the finish for our Bell Tire drive of the game.
Well, it's interesting. A 20-point lead for Michigan State has really evaporated in a hurry. Chris Hill, 15 points tonight, hit 11 of those in the first few minutes of the game. Paul Davis, they go inside to the big man, and the sophomore converts.
Great job coming out of the timeout, because keep in mind, the shot clock was under 10, 6 seconds when that possession started.
Ted Valentine got an earful from Michigan State coach Tom Izzo, who said he was also fouled. Great backdoor look. Tolich to Vukusic.
Nice job by Tolich. The big fella steps out. He had 5 assists against Iowa on the road in the win there.
3.5 to play. Michigan State with the ball up 11.
Go right back in there if you're Michigan State, Tom.
Just to Davis.
Absolutely. Go right back inside.
Hill out front. Anderson, I should say, has fouled out. Ager down low. Turnover. Vukusic with a steal, taking it away from Bograkis.
It's still a lot of time. If you're Northwestern, Tom, there's no need to start settling for threes very quickly. You can work your offense. No need to panic.
Tolich out front. Boy, he just wants to get rid of it. From the wing.
We got
a foul and a 3-point free throw try coming up for Jatim Young. Well, we're taking a look at our Subway player of the game, Maurice Ager, who had 22 of those career high points in the first half. He's cooled off a little bit, although he hasn't played all that much here in the second half.
No, he really hasn't, but I tell you what, his 3-point shooting extended things and created scoring opportunities for his teammates in the first 20 minutes.
Meanwhile, Jatim Young at the line trying to knock down 3. It's a 10-point make it. Yep, still a 10-point game. Jatim Young in tonight's ball game, 14 points. And Coach Tom Izzo had the best compliment you can give a player. He said, Jatim Young, he's a flat-out winner. But he missed 2 out of the 3. Ooh, were those big misses for the Wildcats.
Had a chance to get in under double digits.
2:35 to play. Michigan State up 10 and with the ball. But right now, Michigan State staggered a little bit here. Davis, nice fake. Charge on Davis. That's 4 on the sophomore.
And that's the second charge during this comeback that Vedran Vukuzic has taken for Northwestern. He took the charge out front, got Anderson out of the ballgame. Here the two-man game. Slides over, takes the punch.
Vukuzic drawing the charge, and Northwestern with the ball down 10, 2:20 to play. Vukuzic, he's moving better now with that brace with the left hand. He got it to fall. Eight-point Spartan lead, 2 to play. Oh, wide open Torbert. He got fouled by Hashad, who saved a dunk from happening.
Let's take a look at the last basket for Northwestern. Shot clock winding down. Vukuzic, there's no way you can defend that. And in horse, that's worth like an HORS. Match that.
Northwestern on a 13-2 run over the last 5 minutes to get back into this game. Torbert missed the first. He's a 76% free throw shooter.
Now, if you're Northwestern, one area they've really struggled with, Tom, is rebounding. They have to squeeze down and eliminate any second chance opportunities for Michigan State right here.
3-possession game. Michigan State leads 66-57, 1:50 to play. Young on the baseline. Young with a layup. Northwestern, and the heart and soul of the Wildcats has Northwestern back to within 7. 1:43 left in this one from Evanston.
Good job by Northwestern, Tom, of isolating the senior Jatim Young on the freshman Shannon Brown on the block. Might have gotten away with a hook there with the inside arm, but finishes on the opposite side.
7-point Michigan State lead. Michigan State has 4 timeouts left. Northwestern 3. Possession arrow favors Michigan State. Sean, explain to me, how does Michigan State shoot 61% from the floor in this game? They've out-rebounded Northwestern by 9, and yet this game is still up for grabs.
Northwestern has been able to kind of climb back in. They've gotten some turnovers, gotten some easy baskets, and most importantly, if you're Northwestern, hit the threes. We talked about the importance of them hitting the threes. It completely vacated them in the first half. During this run, they've been able to knock some down, spread the Michigan State defense. They're 4 of 8 from behind the arc here in the second half.
You look at Bill Carmody, the head coach of the Northwestern Wildcats. Look at the disparity at the foul stripe. And that's unusual for Northwestern to have the advantage.
That's absolutely right, because they live and die by the 3, but they've been able to attack the rim off the dribble here during this little bit of a run.
Tom Izzo, his club had a 20-point lead. But nothing is easy in the Big Ten on the road. And the freshman Shannon Brown knocked down 2 huge free throws. It's still a 3-possession game, 1:35 to play. Vukuzic on the baseline. Vukuzic scores again.
Well, it didn't look like he had any room to go up and split the double team, but able to snake through there.
Michigan State leads 68-61, 1:21 to play. The problem with fouling Michigan State, they are the best free throw shooting team in the Big Ten. As a team, 77% from the line.
Well, that's just outstanding, because you don't see that much on the pro level.
You're right. 4th personal foul on Vedran Vukuzic, who many people thought wouldn't even play tonight. He's played most of this game with that knee brace. And Michigan State knocking them down here at crunch time. And that separates the men from the boys. As you see the brace on Vukuzic, who, as the game has gone on, it seems like he's gotten more comfortable with that brace.
It's gotten, and his knees probably gotten a little looser, Tom, and you really have to give him credit. He's made 2 big defensive plays, taking charges.
Michigan State calls a timeout as Torbert nails 2 critical free throws to give him 10 points. And Michigan State still up 9, still a 3-possession game with 1:21 left in this one. Well, again, we want to remind you that coming up after this one, from Madison, the Wisconsin Badgers, the Michigan Wolverines on ESPN+. Big night of basketball in the state of Michigan. The Spartans lead this one by 9 with 1:21 left. What does Bill Carmody do now if you're Northwestern?
You probably want to try to get a quick 2, but I would look for Michigan State to maybe extend their defense just a hair, force Northwestern to use some time bringing the ball up the floor. And if you're Michigan State right now, you're willing to give up a 2 instead of a 3. What you do want to do if you're Michigan State is you do not want to foul.
Michigan State in the double bonus the rest of the way. Northwestern in the double bonus as well. Young for 3. Short rebound Davis. He almost traveled. Instead he was fouled, and Bakusic, if it's on him, that's 5. So Vedran Bakusic will foul out. A gallant effort with a bad knee. 13 points and really helped spark this Northwestern comeback. So Bakusic is out, and you can see what they missed in Bloomington Saturday when he could not play. They might have won that game with Bakusic on Saturday.
Well, he's made his reputation, and rightfully so, with his offense. But tonight, with that bad leg, the injured leg rather, you have to give him credit.
Yep.
Sliding over and doing what he can to help the team. He really struggled shooting the ball early on, but was able to contribute in other ways.
Solid night for the sophomore out of Rochester, Michigan. Davis misses that free throw, so it's still a 3-possession game. Michigan State up 70-61 with 1:02 to play. Davis, a 78% free throw shooter, Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan 2 years ago. And Michigan State has really been clutch in the last 2 minutes from the foul line. 10-point game. Seacat had it rejected. I think that was Brokrakis.
Yep, it sure was.
And Michigan State now can milk the clock. Not much Northwestern can do. Seacat fouls Hill. He'll shoot 2. And he's a 71% free throw shooter. That's the problem with Michigan State. Hard for Bill Carmody to pick a guy to send to the line.
And we talked about rebounding and defense and how those have been the staples of Michigan State and their rise and continued level of excellence. But another thing you can control, free throw shooting. They call them free for a reason. And how many teams lose down the stretch or don't put games away from the foul line?
And Brown back in for Brokrakis. Well, tonight Michigan State has saved themselves at the foul stripe in the last 2 minutes. And Chris Hill, what a night he has had. Got the great start for Michigan State. He has 17 points. And now Rasheed Johnson is in. Another timeout. 44 seconds left. Michigan State's lead is 12. Gallant comeback, though, by Bill Carmody's Wildcats.
You have to give Northwestern a lot of credit, Tom, but basically they dug themselves too deep a hole in the first half.
So Michigan State now with a 12-point lead is the Wildcats' upcoming schedule. They'll go on the road. Northwestern has a schedule this year where it's every other game's at home. They don't have that 3-game road trip that Michigan State started tonight. Michigan State, with a win tonight, would be 3-1, tied for the lead in the Big Ten. And Tom Izzo was saying if they can win 2 out of 3 on this 3-game road trip, he'd be very pleased. But I wouldn't count them out from winning all 3.
No, there certainly are no gimmies, and this is a nice one for them to come in here and salt away.
And it wasn't easy. In the corner, Young for 3. In and out. Rebound to Andreas. So Michigan State weathers the storm. They're up a dozen with 26 seconds left. On a night when Michigan State shot over 60% from the floor. They win it at the foul line down the stretch, Sean. And good teams find ways to win on the road. Michigan State gets its first road win tonight.
And the big difference, Michigan State came out, knocked down the threes early, built a big lead. Northwestern not able to climb out of that hole.
So Tom Izzo and the Michigan State Spartans, what a tussle it was tonight. But they win it to go into a first-place tie.
Michigan State gets their first road win, goes into the next 2 games with a lot of momentum.
Maurice Agger had a career-high 24 for Michigan State. Well, ESPN Plus will bring you a Saturday doubleheader. In first, it'll be Penn State and Michigan, followed by the Wisconsin Badgers and the Fighting Illini. Check your local listings for Saturday's doubleheader. Here tonight, Michigan State a winner over Northwestern, 73-61. So the Spartans above 500 overall, now 3-1 in the Big Ten. Northwestern 2-3 in the Big Ten. This has been a presentation of ESPN Plus, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports television. For Sean Morris, this is Tom Hamilton. Thanks for joining us. Michigan State wins by a dozen over Northwestern.